type of alcohol. And of course, birds know this. They will then proceed to eat as much of the fermented fruit or berries as they can to get completely hammered. And in certain parts of the world, bird alcoholism is on the rise. Just look at Yukon, Canada, where they have built a sanctuary for birds that have had too much of the booze, which is basically a drunk tank for birds. Here, they are placed in tiny cages until they sober up, but as soon as they do, they are released back into the wild where they can continue boozing. So next time you see a bird that isn't flying straight, just remember, he's probably a degenerate good-for-nothing alcoholic. Number 7. Honeybees. This one is similar to number 8, as most people probably won't know this one, but once you hear about it, you'll realize that you've come across it at one point in your life. Now this one is a little more violent and doesn't have the ending that you would find at a massage parlor. Have you ever come across a honeybee that's crawling on the floor and doesn't seem to want to fly? As a kid, I used to think that this was because the bee had recently stung someone and is now dying a horrible and painfully slow death. But now as an adult, I am way more informed. Now, when I come across a crawling bee, I now know that it's either completely blocked out drunk or dying a horrible and painfully slow death. You see, when the temperatures rise, the nectar in plants can become fermented, and you guessed it, it becomes alcohol. So when bees go to collect pollen from the plant and drink some of that sweet fermented nectar, they get completely drunk. And this is when you might find a bee that has lost all control of its sense of direction and motor skills. Now the sad part is, if by some miracle the bee manages to return back to its hive, it will have to go through the guard bees. Think of these guys as the bouncers of the hive, but a lot more violent, aggressive, and heartless. If a drunk bee shows up to the hive, one of two things will happen. He will either get a lifetime ban from the hive, or get his arms torn off, wings torn off, legs torn off, antennas torn off, and eyes torn out, and die a horrible and painfully slow death. But don't worry, it's all done for the sake of the colony, since fermented nectar in the hive can cause the entire colony to collapse. Number 6. Fruit flies. Researchers at a San Francisco university have found that male fruit flies don't handle rejection very well. The research shows that when male fruit flies are rejected by a potential partner, they actually seek out alcohol. Who would have thought that I had so much in common with the fly? Number 5. Vervet monkeys. Now this is the last animal on the list that belongs in an AA meeting, and the reason